Hello, my name is Darren Thomas and I am the Director of Educational Research Techniques.com. In this particular video, we're going to be taking a look at simple interest, a very common term that is used in algebra and of course finance. So why don't we go straight into the problem and then I'll try to explain to you the actual formula that we use for solving simple interest. So here's our problem. Tom invested a principal of $1,900 in his bank account that earned a simple interest rate of 5%. How much interest did he earn in 5 years? Now, simple interest is simple in comparison to compound interest, which is a very complex topic that is even covered in some calculus textbooks. But back to my point here. When you're dealing with simple interest, you basically have an equation that has, apparently it has, let's see here, four variables to it. So what we often see if you look inside any algebra textbook is something along the lines of, here we go. Let me make this a little bit bigger for you. I equals, looks like we got P R T. This is the common expression or formula, if you will, for solving interest. Now, we have these different parts here. So, as you can see right here, I stands for interest. This is the additional amount of money you pay in terms of interest to the original loan, or the amount you get if you lend money to somebody. That's what interest is. And then the second part we have here, the P stands for principal. This is the initial amount of investing that you do. So in our example here, our initial investment was $1,900. That's the initial amount. R, if you will, stands for the rate of the interest. In other words, the 5%, the 10% interest rate that you're paying. And so in our example here, it's 5%. And T stands for time. So we got R, we got T here. T stands for time. So that's the duration of the loan, or if you're giving out the money, or the duration that you're paying if you're the person who's borrowing the money. And so in our example here, it's 5 years. Now, basically, all you do when you're doing a simple interest word problem is you plug in the information you know to find out what you don't know. So in this particular example, we want to know, if you look real closely, we want to know how much interest right here did we pay. So in other words, we're trying to solve for I. If we're trying to solve for I, we could be pretty confident that the word problem gives us the information for P, the principal, R, the rate of interest, and T, the amount of time. And it does. As I've already mentioned, the rate of time, the principal is 1,900. So we put this right here in parentheses. The rate is 5%. Now we have to convert to percent to a decimal. So that's going to be 0.05. And the rate of time is, of course, 5 years. So if we solve all this, we will have our I. So we just do some basic math here. It's nothing too complicated. I'm sure you've done something of this nature before. So if we do 1,900 times 0.005, if you can do all this on your own time, but to make it simple, the actual answer here is going to be I equals 475. That's the answer. Because 1,900, just so you know this, 1,900 times 5 is going to be 9,500. That's what we got here. And then you multiply that, of course, by 0.05, and then you get the 475 or something like that, of that nature. Something like that. No. That's wrong. Gotta do it again. Crash.